I'm Trinity.
And I'm Mac.
And welcome back to SIP.
Today we have two very special guests. These are old friends of ours. These two grew up in Student Impact. Their moms started working here when they were really little, and so this is like a second home to them. And they started out as little babies and are now students of their own and growing up here. And so we're going to get to know a little bit about them and hear kind of the behind the scenes of life at Student Impact as a OG SI kid. Mm-hmm. So do you two want to introduce yourselves? We got Sofia and Aubree.
Yeah, I'm Sophie Easterhouse. I was crawling around here by like age 1, and I'm 16 now. I grew up in Westfield, and I play softball as just a little fun hobby, I guess.
Yep.
I am Aubree. I grew up here when I was in first grade. I am currently in fifth grade, and I was from North Carolina and moved here in, kindergarten? Yeah.
So you basically grew up here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, those are our guests for the day. So we're going to do our little question of the day, the best part of the podcast. So let's see here. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What is your biggest pet peeve? So you start.
So I really, really hate slow walkers. Like, pick up your feet, please.
Slow anything,
honestly. I also don't appreciate when you don't walk on the right side of the hallways. Mm-hmm. There's 2 lanes for a reason. There is a middle lane where you can pass through, but
then there's people who cover that lane.
Yeah, I don't
by
like
walking
that.
in groups of 4.
I just don't appreciate the slow walking. It's just not. It's not necessary. I was actually late to first period. Well, I was late to first period because of a slow walker.
Should have just shoved him over.
I know, I should.
I can say I probably fall into the slow walker category because I'm a little bit unobservant when I'm in school. And so, like, I'm out for a stroll, I'm cruising. And if I'm at school, I'm just like,
hey, guys.
Yeah, no rush. I don't care what's coming up in my next class. So, what about you, Obs? What's your biggest pet peeve?
I hate when people don't flush the toilet. I just think it's just gross, and it just gets stinky.
It is gross. I feel like that should be a basic skill to know. And you have a brother, so it probably happens quite often. I know I have a brother, and he struggles with aim. That is probably one of my biggest pet peeves, when I wake up in the morning and it looks like he hadn't even tried to make it into the toilet.
Yeah.
It's a little bit.
I got lucky with 3, so I think every seat is like that.
Disgusting. Do your brothers put the toilet seat down?
They keep it down. They don't put
Oh,
it
that's
up.
gross. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I actually walked in my bathroom after all the guys were at my house, and my toilet seat was up. That's something new because I'm
not used to that.
Yeah.
Wow. You know something really interesting? I knew a girl that worked at Greeks with me, and she had only sisters, and our manager told her that she wasn't cleaning the bathrooms well enough because she wasn't lifting the seat and like using Clorox, and she was like, I didn't know you had to do that.
Yeah, no, I would have not known that.
Yeah. She
Wait, what?
Yeah, because girls don't lift the seat.
I only have
there's
girl
gonna be any missage on that, and so she had never even thought to do that.
There's only girls in my house, and my dad knows enough that he got to put the toilet seat down.
Yeah. So brothers give you basic skills. That's what we've learned.
Yeah,
basic
I
cleaning
guess.
skills. So you're missing out, Soph.
I guess so.
You're losing those life skills. Anyways, let's move on from the bathroom. No more potty talk. We're going to hear a little bit about your background, where you guys came from, how you got involved with Student Impact, your first few memories, all that fun stuff, and kind of what it's like to be young in this building, because most people who join us are like 5th and up. So being a little kid is really rare here. So let's start with your guys' first knowing of what your moms were doing. So, like, what was your thought when your mom said, I'm going to work at Student Impact? What did you think this place was? That kind of thing.
So, obviously, my mom worked here before
was a baby.
I knew anything. So, when I did realize she worked here, I didn't realize how much it really was. Like, I thought as a young child, like, oh, she's just hanging out with kids. Like, but, like, as I got older, I realized, like, it's a lot more than that. And so, I realized, like, she's doing a lot more in the community and, like, helping kids than what I thought.
For sure. What was your first thought being in this building? Because, like, the earliest memory you have of that. Because you were always surrounded by older kids and that kind of thing.
Yeah. I always just thought I was super cool. Like, I had all these high school friends, and I thought they were my friends too. I don't know if they really were, but I thought so. I also remember...
They were your friends, for sure.
Yeah. I remember the stage we had.
That
had
was
a
gone a long
stage.
time ago.
Where they'd play music. We had a piano. I just remember that being a really big thing of student impact, like, when I was younger.
Didn't they do worship in the
They
morning?
did.
That's so fun.
Yeah, it was really fun.
We got to get that back. We got to talk to Dom about that one.
Yeah.
Dom's behind the camera, if you can't tell. Aubree, what about you? What did you think student impact was when your mom said she was starting a new job?
When I heard that she was starting a new job, I was like, I wonder like what this is gonna be like. And I remember when I first walked in there, then you guys are all sitting at the table, and it was cool, and I got to know you guys, and yeah.
You were like all of our little sisters, for sure. And Soph was just saying that she felt cool. I'm convinced Aubree was the coolest first grader on the planet. She had a choker every single day. Never took that thing off. She wore wedges that were like booties. Didn't matter what her outfit was. It was going to work with her outfit, no matter what.
I wore my wedges with my sweatpants and my cardigan.
That was a look.
Oh, yeah, and she always had on, like, those student impact shirts, but she was so little that none of the sizes fit her, and so she'd have one down to, like, her knees, and then leggings, choker, booty, wedges. She had the whole shebang.
Yeah, I
going.
actually remember, like, being those student impact shirts, like, I just loved them so much. Yeah. Like, and Lily Everett's, I always loved her style, and when she'd wear those student impact shirts, I'd be like, I want to wear that. I want to look like her. Obviously,
You guys did have similar style, because she always was very, like, athletic.
I just loved her style.
Yeah. Oh, that's so funny. You're going to have to tell her that. She'll be
will.
like, no way.
I mean, I hope she's listening.
Oh, of course she is. She's our biggest fan. What else would she be doing right now? So so when you came in, and like, do you have any early memories of being in this building with the older kids? Because you guys were so little, and this building was full of high schoolers most days, middle schoolers, not first graders and 3-year-olds.
Yeah.
So like, what were your guys' interactions with those older kids, and how did you feel about them?
I think when I was younger, I was just like, especially when I was really young, I was just kind of there for their entertainment. Like,
Yes.
or to go get them a plate or something. Like, I was just there for them.
Yeah.
You know? And as I got older, I think I kind of, like, started to, like, want to be like them. And, like, I'd say, like, they were more mentors to me than anything as I kept on getting older. And, like, I just felt like I want to be like them when I'm older and, like, have, like, the relationship with God they had and everything like that.
Cool. Yeah. What about you?
I'm just thinking about little Soph. Like, Soph is already little enough that, like, when you were, like, little, you were probably, like...
Well,
Yeah.
we had a
Yeah.
really weird, like, transition in our relationship because I was friends with her older sister, and so, like, for the first 4 years that I knew her, she was just, like, a little kid.
Yeah.
And, like, I'd go to her house and wouldn't talk to Soph. I'd go to her sister's
I remember
room.
the first time I ever talked to Mac was my door was open for some reason, and she looked in my room and she was like, your room is really cute. And I was like, did she just compliment me? Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Like, Soph was, like, the little kid. And then within the last, like, 3 years, we've actually become friends, and it's so funny that, like, I'll go to your house now, and it's not for your sister. It's for you. And it's, like, a really weird but you were crazy. Like, you had so much energy as a little kid.
Yeah, I did.
She used to do flips, and so, like, she would do backflip, like, back
wow.
handsprings and stuff.
Back in my gymnast era.
Can you show us one right now?
Oh,
I mean,
Not today.
I know you can still do them.
Obviously.
I actually can still do them, but
Why don't you ever do them onto, like, first base? Like, a back handspring for a home run.
I'll talk to Coach about that,
I
actually.
don't know if you know this, but they have to run to the base. And so
Well, she could
stopping-
run, stop, and then hop back so that her hands land on the base. so
Maybe
she's safe.
I'll
don't
talk
think
to
she
Coach
knows
about that.
I
And if
don't-
you do, I need to be there.
Okay. Yeah, that's understandable.
That would make it onto, like, Barstool.
That needs to be that's like Savannah Bananas.
That's a whole nother podcast. We gotta talk about that baseball team. I want to go so bad. I don't even like sports. I thought they did touchdowns. Anyways, okay. Going on, going forward. Aubree, what was your first interactions like with older kids? Because, like, you always were around us.
I think that my first interactions were, like, I just tried to treat them like I knew them and they were, like, my friends. So I just think that, like, helped me build a better relationship. And then whenever I got to know the student leaders, then I try to learn a lot from them and see them like in my future and try to be like them. And so I know like what to expect when I get older, and I get to learn from them.
Yeah, for sure.
That's really cool.
What do you think your favorite part of that program is with student leaders? And now that you're older, like especially for you, Soph, after growing up with those student leaders in your life, how do you feel like you've taken things that you learned from them and put them into your way of leadership with kids?
Yeah, I was like a really shy kid, and so I never really like reached out to people or talked to people, and I think I saw a lot of the older student leaders doing that, and I was like, wow, that looks like pretty cool, like I want to do that. And so I think I took that on and I started learning like to talk to other kids here, and I've grown like some pretty good relationships with some of the kids here, and yeah.
That's cool. What about you, Aubree? While you're surrounded by student leaders and you're still pretty young, what do you think you've learned, and what do you think those leaders have helped you with?
I think that I have learned like how to help people and like build like encouragement and try to help them find new friends and stuff like that. And then I think that being a junior student leader will be cool, going into that program and like helping clean out after school, helping organize events, and I think that'll be cool.
Yeah.
Hard launch.
Hard launch, junior student leader program. She's going to be one. You definitely like run this place though now. This
Yeah.
is your...
I know all the passwords. I know everything.
I don't even know the password.
No, she runs. It's funny to me because like on intermediate school days, like she'll be taking food out of the oven or like going and grabbing more snack bags for the kids, and she's the same age as all the kids
Yeah,
here.
not me. I was like scared to do that.
So followed the rules and acted like a student that was already like not...
So
My mom would have beat me, guys. She...
I think you just wanted to have fun and play the whole
I did
time.
want to have fun, but my mom was very strict about when it was my intermediate school day. It was my intermediate school day. That was just one of the things how it was back when I was a kid. Obviously, it's different now because Aubree, like, it's not a big deal. But the big thing for my mom, I think, is that she didn't want like the other students to.
You also had a really different... You two have had different because you... 5th and 6th graders are here. But when you were in 5th and 6th grade, they were at the gym. And so...
Oof, I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's totally different. So you had like you were the only 5th and 6th grader in this building, really.
Yeah.
So then when you got to bring like the 7th and 8th graders here, was that like, I already know my place, like I already know my way around
Yeah,
here.
I was like, you
She
guys are
was like the
lame, I'm
VIP.
cool, follow me. Like,
This
let
is
me
my
show you the
mom's
shortcut.
office over
She's
here.
like, this way.
I was like,
follow me.
let me show you guys the shortcut. Like, don't go the full route.
This
Like,
is where all the good snack bags
Yeah.
are. You go right here.
Yeah.
That's funny. How about like when you came in this year with the expansion, was that kind of weird for you because you grew up in this building and then coming into a totally new revamped place? Was that how did
yeah,
that feel?
the expansion was like very, very like sad for me in a way, but also I was super happy about it because it was one of the things my mom had been working on since she got here. So that was one of her long-term goals, and so I knew that, and I was really happy for her, but I was also really sad because the expansion was the sign of her retirement. So coming into the building was just like, wow, this place is amazing, but it was just like super sad at the same time.
Definitely like a new chapter that
Yeah.
you were entering into, and it was like a physical example of that.
Yeah, I mean, the
happening.
building's amazing. There's the Mama D's Cafe. We got the video game room. I mean, there's just so much now.
Yeah, it's really cool, but I could see how that would be a little weird for sure. Do you guys have like a favorite, funniest memory of being little kids here? Or like something random that you're like, oh my goodness, I always think about this. I'm like, how did that even happen?
I really love the plate wall.
I did not like that
I'm
wall.
sorry,
That
what?
wall made me cry.
The plate wall was if you left your trash out, we had a worker here, he would write your name, like you had to write your name on your plates. And so if you left your trash out, then he knew it was yours. So he'd stick it on the wall.
It was humiliating.
Yeah. And then you'd have to go throw it away.
I made it on the wall one time, and I walked in here.
You definitely cried.
I cried. And I was like,
Nope.
oh my goodness, they all hate me so much. I'm on the wall.
I just loved it because I love to see who
So, did you make it on the wall?
Of course
I did.
Every week.
Every week you were on the wall.
I
So,
mean, have you ever met me? I'm the
Her
biggest
items
airhead.
didn't leave the wall. They stayed up there.
did John make it on the wall?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. John never picks up after himself.
Yeah,
Only
no,
child.
I know. Still to this day,
Except-
we're still picking up John's.
John didn't really,
John came in like 5th and 6th grade. I mean,
So did he get the plate wall?
the wall wasn't at the gym. It
Yeah.
was only in this building. And so the guy who did that wall left when they were in 5th grade. Or his
going
last
in
year was their
7th
5th grade.
I thought it was 7th grade.
No, because it was my 8th grade year is when.
Okay, yeah.
So I think John got lucky and got to miss out on that.
That boy would not leave that wall.
No.
No, he would always be up there.
And
And
there
there
have
was
to
like
make it the John wall.
Yeah, there was like an Iron Man cutout as well next to it, I'm pretty
Oh,
sure.
really? I don't remember
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
It made it really empowering.
Yeah.
I think.
that.
Sounds
No,
like
it was humiliating. I did not find it empowering.
I would find it funny.
was
I would
really
find
funny. I thought it was great.
Yeah. No,
I think
it
my
was
goal
great.
was to get my plate up there.
It probably was.
She's
You were
like, let's
I'm
see
gonna
how
leave
many.
this right.
If you think about it, it's really gross. I hope they wash the plates.
I don't think they did. It was just
Were
it
they
was a trash.
plastic?
It was a trash wall.
Like,
So it was like
this-
those
It was-
plates we use now. Like
Yeah.
any of the trash or like the plates like that or cups that were left got taped on the wall, and we had to write our name on literally everything that we used to eat or
Yep.
drink.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Interesting way of
Yeah.
not parenting. What would that be?
Disciplining.
Disciplining.
Authoritiveness.
Wow, look at you. Get it, girl.
Wow.
Authoritativeness.
Big words today. So.
Aubree wins.
My mom told me to bring out the big words for this podcast.
You're doing great.
Thanks.
Very proud of you.
Make this educational.
Okay, going in further, let's go more to like recent stuff or like your different perspectives now because you are the only kids that kind of grew up in this building other than your siblings, of course. And so, Soph, for you now as a student leader, is it interesting to be a student leader here after growing up with all the other student leaders? Like, is that something that's kind of like, oh.
Yeah, I think a lot of my like best friends are student leaders now, obviously. But to see like the difference, whereas like I grew up here when we had brown cabinets and a brown like center console, whatever it's called.
Was the game room a chalk room? Was
Yes.
it like the whole room?
The whole
chalk
game
wall?
room was a
Oh,
there
I've
was a
seen
chalk,
pictures of
and that was
that.
still the garage at the time. And so there was also a ping pong table in there, but it was really small.
Yeah, it was tiny. As a little kid, do you guys have any, or as a little kid in this building, do you guys have any little perks of being like an OG student impact kid?
No, Soph has plenty.
Yeah, I think when I was younger, I used to like steal like from the lost and found because they would be in my mom's office.
That's kind of gross.
I got some Uggs out of it.
How are they even your size?
I don't know.
Yeah, lucky. That
Yeah.
was God's work right
I'm-
there.
Right. I would steal. I had like coats. I mean, it wasn't stealing. I mean, you left them here.
Yeah.
I would wait a couple weeks. But yeah, I would get some nice clothes. I think I also took a little bit more food than I should have.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
More
and,
than likely.
yeah. And I got the
You lived
benefit
here, though.
of
You had to get
yeah.
food at some point.
I got the benefit of having a ton of candy and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You also had like I always was like, oh, so lucky. She can just escape to her mom's office if she wants. Like that's like her own bedroom.
Yes,
In this
yes.
house.
If I would get like mad or something, I just go up to my mom's
Soph's
office.
upstairs. She's taking a second in her room.
You even have a money stash still here.
She
it was
you
my
have an
mom.
allowance.
That's my mom.
Yeah, you have an allowance.
Mhm.
Do you still have an allowance?
Yeah,
she had
technically
that-
I do.
She had that like 5.
That John steals out of.
John's been partaking in that allowance. He's a shared.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
one
and
of
he's
the
gonna pay
shared
me back
accounts that the
too.
other
John,
day
if you're
too.
watching this, you're paying me back.
His $2 that he spent.
I also paid for his Starbucks the other day.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh, so he owes you a little bit.
Even though he drove me, I still want my money back.
Okay, so it doesn't work like that, but okay.
Yes, it does.
Aubree, what about you, babe?
I can remember how I would have a slime drawer in my mom's office, and like I would always set that up and have all my different slimes on the art room counter, and I would bring my art supplies from home and bring all this stuff and think that I
You
was
had a
like
whole
a
setup.
businesswoman. I was working with my slime, I was making it, I
Yeah.
was
Wow.
coloring it with all the paint, the glitter.
Of course.
Aubree, did you ever sell them?
I know.
You should have.
How
You
many
could have
did
made bank.
Have?
I don't know, probably like 10 or something.
We have more
1,
slime
2,
in this
3.
bathroom right now too, because
Mhm.
when Aubree and I hang out on the weekends, this is our go-to spot.
Oh.
And so we had a whole slime day.
So
and
you're
then
here all week, and this is where you decide to come back.
it's
to
just
on
there's
the
nobody else here, so it's like we have a whole building
Yeah.
to ourselves.
I wish I could do that.
We made slime, and we made like 15 slimes, and then we had a
Mhm.
bunch of leftover materials, and we were both like, where do we put it? And the first thought was the bathroom. And so one of these bathroom drawers is filled with slime stuff. Like, that's only a perk of a student impact.
I'm like, so
Yeah. What?
I'm like, so one Saturday, we'll
Yeah,
just rob
come on.
them. That's
Yeah,
fine.
you can come borrow it. We'll
We can
share.
have our own little
I
date.
think I maybe made slime once when I was a kid.
Really?
I think once.
Oh, wow, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
That was my first time making slime.
Yeah, because you weren't allowed to make it at home, right?
Mhm.
Well,
Because my dad is like, if you make slime, it'll get all over the carpet.
My dad said the same
no,
thing.
'Cause whenever we-
Jaden or Carter either dropped slime on the carpet, and my dad was out of town, and we had to like try to like.
Yeah, because whenever we lived in our old house
it's true.
whenever we lived in our old house in North Carolina, then we would have like, we used to play with like Play-Doh and slime, and our carpet was filthy. There was like a bunch of stains everywhere, and he was like, when we move to Indiana, we will not be having slime in this house.
slime band.
Yeah.
Taste Play-Doh when you were a kid.
Yeah.
No.
I
Like
have.
you never like smelt it, and you're like,
Yeah.
No, I did not. That's
I don't like
I don't know
Play-Doh.
if that's not a unique experience, but
It's a universal experience.
Not
that
for
you
me.
That's
get.
a very common childhood experience. Is eating
Um, I stick to food.
Okay, I guess
eating
that's fair.
anything.
You know, another thing that I think of that's really funny is I feel like you two rarely used to wear shoes here. Or, like, this was such a comfortable spot for you that you guys were just in your socks. Or, like, Aubree, you spend your breaks here a lot of the time, like your litter break. And, like, we'd walk in because there's a few days of the break that we work. And Aubree's here doing her crafts and, like, playing on her phone in the craft room and just hanging. Like, this is, like, your second
Yeah,
home.
I take my shoes off, have my socks on, running all over the bean bags and chairs, stacking them up.
It's
my
your other
second home. Yeah.
I think I used to do that, but now that I'm older, I'm kind of like
Yeah.
scared of my feet.
Don't want to let the
I don't-
dogs out.
I don't like feet.
They
Feet's-
bark.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, no. Feet's
No.
really, honestly, feet is definitely.
I honestly wear shoes at my house too.
Really?
Really?
Like I don't love having.
I hate shoes and I hate socks. So if my feet can be bare, they will be.
Her dogs be barking.
They are always out. Always.
Cage them up. Cage them up.
So let's go back a little bit to student leadership. So you are now a student leader. Did you think that you were going to want to be one day as a little kid? Were you like, oh, I want to be a student leader so bad?
I did because at the time all the student leaders would get like free soda and candy.
So that was your
Oh.
motive?
Yeah, that was my motive. I mean, you didn't technically have to be a student leader to do that, but most of them were because
Yeah.
it used to be that if you did chores, then you'd get
that.
free candy or pop.
Got some sort of pay.
So I was like, yeah, I want that. Give me that.
That was your
That was my
motivation.
motive. But obviously, as I got older, like I was just like, I want to be a mentor to someone.
So how would you say your views have changed from that to now as a student leader? Like when you used to think that the student leaders just hung out with kids. Now, like, what's your perspective on that? And
Yeah,
what's your goal
so
going
definitely
into it?
some of like what we do is like hanging out with kids, but there's a lot more to it. Like there's like volunteering activities we do outside of here, and then there is a lot of like interacting with kids and stuff. But I'd say a lot more is like the planning and like volunteering and like working with your other student leaders to like see, hey, what can you do better to like encourage someone or like anything else like that. And also there's just like chores obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Good old chores.
We love the cleanup. That's my favorite part.
Yeah. Me too.
Aubree, what about you? After watching these student leaders, what makes you want to be a student leader too?
I think what makes me want to be a student leader is basically what you said, like volunteering, helping other kids out, like with whatever they need, or just helping out the other people. Or like whenever we did that food program or whatever, where we
yeah.
gave families that needed food.
Yeah.
And I think that like being a student leader or like working here, I think that'd be pretty special to help other
Think
people
it'd be
out.
fun? Do you think that also having student leaders at such a young age and then being friends to you makes you want to be friends to the other kids? Because like I know for me, when I grew up I didn't start here at 1, but when I was here as a 5th grader, I was like, oh, these student leaders are so cool, and they're friends with me. So when I'm older, I want to be cool, and I want to be friends with all the other little kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is that something that you guys think about, or is that something you don't know?
I don't really think that I think about that a lot, but since I just love hanging out with kids, and I just think that would be fun being a student leader because that seems like it'd fit me, and I like entertaining them, and I feel like I get them and just understand them.
Yeah. I actually don't love kids, but I don't mind it here because, like, it's just not that bad here, okay? Like, they're, like, old enough where it's,
They're
like...
not like
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
not like babies.
Like,
yeah.
I don't love young kids or... but
So do you want kids, or are you just going to push out a 5th grader?
I'm going to push out a 5th grade.
Okay, I hope that works out for you.
But I do like... I like hang out with some, like, of the kids. Like, I think a lot of them are really fun, and, like, it's very unique to see their experiences at their age versus what I'm going through right now.
Yeah, for sure. I get that for sure. So, going forward with Student Impact, what are some things that you're looking forward to? Especially, like, you're about to be a junior, which is
Yeah.
crazy to think about. So, you've only got, like, 2 years left here.
Yeah. I'm just excited to see how it grows and how just everything changes. I think a lot has already changed, and I'm really happy about what has changed. And I think it's just going to be really different from where we are now in a good way.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's cool. Are you thinking that, like, once you're done and you're in college and stuff, are you still going to want to, like, come back and
Yeah, I'll come back,
see what's going
but
on?
it depends where I go to school.
Yeah.
Do you know if you want to like stay involved or like a visiting thing?
Yeah, no, I've talked about, like, maybe staying for, like, later on getting a job here. I've thought about that, but I don't know. I know what I want to do when I'm older,
Yeah.
so I don't know if that really aligns with here, but yeah.
That's okay.
What do you want to do? You're coming up on it. What are you thinking?
I think I want to do something in the psychology field, like a therapist or anything like that.
Yeah. You'd be
That'd
good
be
at
really
that
cool.
for sure. I think you'd be really good at that. What about you, Aubree? What are you excited for with Student Impact going forward? You've got from 5th grade until 12th grade. You've got time.
You
Yeah.
got so much time, girl.
I
What are
do
you
got a
thinking?
lot
What
of
are you
time.
excited about?
I think that
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Excuse me. I almost just choked.
Perfect.
since my mom is currently executive director, and I think that going on with her working here will like get me more involved maybe.
Okay.
Like and just like with all the different ideas that she can help with everything will just be cool. Like our girls program, the after hours and spring dance. I think that'll be cool.
There's lots of fun things going on. And as you get older, you'll be able to help with girls or help plan the spring dance and stuff and like be a bigger part of all those things
Yeah.
and be like a junior and
Yeah.
student leader. So you've got time to get super involved.
Yeah.
And there's lots of fun things going up. So is there anything that before you leave high school that you want to happen here, like you want to do before you graduate?
You know, I haven't done a bit of, like, the dances and, like, the girls group because of softball. Sorry, couldn't get that word
Do you
out.
want to start another plate wall?
What?
Oh,
Do you
another
want to
trash
start
wall.
another trash wall, plate wall?
You know,
whatever?
maybe consider it. Maybe we
Please
need to bring
don't.
this up to Brittany.
I disagree.
Or
I
like keep it
think I need
upstairs or
to.
something in the office.
For having, I mean, it would help. It would help.
I definitely do want to, like, be more involved during season if I can next year, but yeah, just
Make the most of your time
Yeah.
before you got other stuff going on. I think that's cool. What would you guys say your biggest takeaways and the biggest impact you've gotten from Student Impact has been in your time so far?
I think it definitely made me realize how important, like, having mentors and older people in your life is, and it made me realize, like, I want my children to have a place like this. Like, the mission my mom always told me was it's a safe and consistent environment, and I think that's really, really important.
Sure.
And it just made me realize, like, I really want that for my kids and for anyone I love.
What do you think that safe and consistent environment did for you as a kid?
It definitely gave me, like, a place where I can go to talk about my feelings. Like, I know with you, like, one of the biggest transitions into becoming like one of my best friends now is like how you were there to like mentor me but be a friend at the same time. So I think that really impacted me with like knowing I can have a safe space to talk to people.
For sure. What about you, Obs? What do you think your biggest takeaway, the biggest lesson you've learned so far at Student Impact?
Basically the same thing. Having older people in my life, like that I can just feel comfortable to talk to. Like if something wrong goes at school, then I can talk to these older kids that I trust. And like I can hang out with them like I hang out with you and just have a little day.
Yeah, I love that so much.
Yeah.
Well, good job, ladies. You guys were great. We're going to do a toast. And do you guys have anything you want to toast to? I have an idea.
Yeah.
Unless you were about to say something. Let's toast to just a safe and consistent environment.
Yes.
Because I think that's important for everybody to have.
In my mom's words, safe and consistent environment.
environment. Okay.
Never get that out of my head.
We say cheers, not toast. I'm learning slowly. So, we say cheers.
Don't-
Do you
Okay.
want to do it?
Don't question it.
Or should I still do it?
Go for it.
I get laughed at every time I do it, though.
That's why it's funny.
Cheers!
That's a wrap.